Shalom to Rabbi Ephraim Mervis, Chief Rabbi of Britain.
Hi, good evening.
So we're here at the Conference of European Rabbis, and I understand that this is absolutely not the first conference that you're attending.
My very first Conference of European Rabbis that I attended was in Amsterdam in 1984. I was then a young rabbi in Dublin in Ireland before I became Chief Rabbi of Ireland. And it's actually quite remarkable how the conference has changed, because then in the 1980s, we're speaking about Western Europe being the Europe of the Conference of European Rabbis. There were some 70 to 80 rabbis who came to the large conference, which was taking place every 2 years. And now things have shifted because there are so many Eastern European countries represented at the various meetings and sessions of the Conference of European Rabbis.
So that's in terms of the variety, the geographics, but in terms of the challenges. Lots has changed also in terms of the challenges of the Jewish communities in diaspora in Europe.
You're asking about challenges, but actually, before speaking about challenges, I'd like to highlight everything that's pleasant, everything that's amazing. Baruch Hashem, we've seen a revolution taking place. We've seen Jews coming out from nowhere. We're sitting here in Minsk, in Belarus, where there are more than 30,000 Jewish people that are known about. Where have they come from? Where have they been? Who were their parents and their grandparents? There is a remarkable story unfolding here throughout Europe. And we should celebrate this and celebrate the fact that so many people are making Aliyah from these countries, and there is a rejuvenation of Jewish life here. So the challenges that we've got relate to a success story, relate to a miracle that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has performed for Am Yisrael here in Europe. Sure enough, there are challenges. So many people speak about antisemitism and assimilation and so on. But let's see it in the context of a really phenomenal development.
Now you mentioned Aliyah, and that must be, technically speaking, educationally speaking, it's a complex value. You're talking about flourishing communities, how amazing it is that really it's developing and bigger communities, and then you come there with a value that basically is saying, leave your homes. Go somewhere else. That must be complex to convey that message to your communities.
Aliyah is of value when people make Aliyah for the right reasons, in order to go to Israel, because they believe that Baruch Hashem, we have this remarkable opportunity in our lifetime to live in Medinat Yisrael. So it is for positive reasons, coming from a spiritual point of view, that we go to live in our homeland. That is, I think, how Aliyah should be presented, and Baruch Hashem, that's why so many people are making Aliyah.
Now regarding UK, Britain, you're dealing also, of course, with anti-Semitism, radical Islam. What can you tell us about that?
I recently gave testimony to the Home Affairs Select Committee, a special hearing on anti-Semitism, and I started my testimony by putting a drawing in front of the panel, cross-party parliamentary panel. And it was a drawing of a dot on a blank sheet of paper, and I said to them, "What do you see?" And they thought I was a bit crazy, and they said, "Well, obviously we see a dot." And I said, "Yeah, that is correct, but actually I would have hoped to get a more exact answer. A better answer is you see a blank sheet of paper on which there is a dot. The blank sheet of paper represents the tremendous situation of Jews in the UK today, that we are free, we have opportunities, our communities are flourishing, and in nearly every place in the country, one is able to walk around with a kippah, express one's Judaism openly. There is a dot. It's growing. It's anti-Semitism. We do need to take it seriously. We need to be vigilant, and our society needs to deal with it. So we shouldn't forget the positive context within which anti-Semitism, unfortunately, is growing. In the UK, we are blessed because our government and the country does not see anti-Semitism purely as a problem for the Jews. It's being seen as a problem for all of our society, because what starts with the Jews, unfortunately, ends up in other places as well. And therefore, the fight against anti-Semitism is not left merely up to our community. It's a fight that is being led by the government and right across the board.
Rabbi Ephraim Mervis, Chief Rabbi of UK, thank you very much for joining us.
Okay, thank you.